It's really interesting to be here. This is one of the greatest highlights for AZANA, in my view, especially when you connect with the children. Often at time we miss it, but I think we got it this time. In my view, what needs to happen, and I've always shared this with Alex, my good friend. In case you don't know, Alex is my friend right there. I've always talked to him about the fact that we need to start training our children, for example, to own land in Zambia deliberately. And we need to deliberately engage them in little businesses because sometimes the emphasis is only on education and we miss that, plan B works too. So we need to engage them that. That's just my view.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Malupande Mutantika. I'm from South Bend, Indiana, Zambia originally, of course. My wife Luendo is over there, and I have I have two daughters. Mackenzie is over here. Melinda is not here. She graduated Purdue University last year.
All right. And then before I jump in, I forgot to make an announcement at the beginning. I see recording. That is totally fine. We just ask that it doesn't get posted anywhere. Our youth did want to keep it, private conversation. So yeah, just no posting. I know you can watch at home with your family, but not on YouTube or yeah. All right. Yes. So I will start with our topics. I'll start with Auntie Maya. The first topic I have for you here is career choices. It says our young people often don't want to seek guidance from their parents when it comes to making career choices. They're depending on the media for guidance versus parents, which can cause a challenge, and their final decision may lack their spiritual guidance. So just any comments you have on that?
Well, first of all, you have to understand where we are coming from as your parents. Our parents brought us up, and the only thing that they looked forward to was education. More so because of their financial situation, probably. We come from very humble backgrounds, and we have failed to kind of understand our growing up and the atmosphere and environment we are raising our children, because we have provided plenty for them. So our expectation are kind of similar to our parents. We are forgetting that we are in a different environment. And, we were taught to look forward to education, to depend on God. But in this time and age, our parents, our children are being influenced by so many things, including AI. AI is number one, and then they depend more on their friends than us. That's how we feel. So we don't know what to do. Maybe, you can say something to that.
Oh, I just wanted to hear I guess that was a good response, your reasoning on why that's how it is. So I'll just keep going, and then we can have response from the youth after. Okay. Next, I have a topic for Uncle Ricky. It goes back to the chores. Just how you feel about us, I guess. Is that a good way I don't know if that's a good way to put it, but how you feel about us not adhering to your requests when you ask us to do stuff. Generally daily chores, or I guess keeping rooms clean,
Okay.
stuff like that.
Sometimes I feel like it's good for me to express myself in my language, But America limits my expression. I wanted to say, So anyway, I'll try to speak to this second language that makes us look intelligent, but sometimes we're not. So anyway, let me talk to the kids. If you want to be one of the best citizens in your home and the country and wherever you go, the first thing you have to do all the time, make your bed. In Zambia, we say pangani bed, yanzikani, anshika. You have to learn to do that. And one of the things you do is that it doesn't come automatic. You have to talk to yourself. You know how you say self-talk? I'm talking to the kids, by the way. You hear me? Oh, my son Marv is not a kid. He's a big man. So here's the thing. You have to make your bed in the morning. Why do you guys get up and then the bed isn't made and you come back and everything's okay? What's up with that? I don't get it. You have to make your bed because then when you come back, it's actually very refreshing. Lesson number 1, okay? Lesson number 2, I think it'll be great for you guys to do this. If your parents are gone, deliberately remove the trash, clean the kitchen area, and when they come back, simply report, Daddy or Mommy, this is what I did for you today. What did you do? I cleaned the dishes and I took out the trash. Do you know your parents will be so happy? Just that. Humphrey, amen to that, right? Okay, so I'm trying to give you some lessons here so we can move on. So that's lesson number 2. You will impress your parents if you do that. Just deliberately clean or just do the laundry, fold the clothes, and then say, hey, Daddy or Mommy, this is what I did. You have no idea what gratitude a parent will have who's been battling, looking for those coins. You know, American money comes and goes. You know what I'm saying? So we got to chase it. The other thing that you have to do is this. I've talked to many parents actually in America. Most kids, for some reason, they eat or take that bottle of water and stash it under the bed, you know, or just don't not clean your room. You have to talk to yourself about that too. The only way is that we talk a lot. Like one of my kids, and I'm not gonna mention the name, man. I talk every day. Clean your room. Clean your room. The room is the same. So my thing is this. The only way you can make that happen, my son, is that you have to talk to yourself. First and foremost, this is what we used to do back home. It was gratitude and gratifying to impress your parents. Do you know that? Let me backtrack a little bit. I'm not trying to take your time, my brother. Here's the thing. Back home, I've told Marvin this. When you got a first job back home and you got that salary, the first thing you did was to give your pay. Let me tell you what, it was a highlight of my life. Now, these days, these kids that get paid, I said, Sonny, hey, give me some money. I don't know more money, man. So, I mean, I have a lot to talk about, man. So sometimes, let me give you a clue, you guys. Sometimes, you have no idea until you have kids. That's when you understand. It'll be good for you to do this sometimes. Don't dash your father some food sometimes. It's nice, you know, just, hey, Daddy, this is what I did for you, you know. DoorDash comes there. Man, you have no idea how we feel. Their heart explodes with joy, man. So, but the greatest thing, just to answer the question again, is this. In order for you to do your chores, in order for you to clean your rooms effectively, in order for you to clean your bathrooms, you have to talk to yourself. And it's simple. Just say, today, I will clean this room before I leave. Simply talk to yourself. Because I know parents talk to you all the time. And I don't know what approach we can do sometimes. But it goes back to one thing. Just do it to impress your parents. Trust me. They see it, they feel it, and it's the most gratifying thing when a child does the chores, clean the rooms. It may not be effective all the time, but just show that you are kind of doing it. May God help you guys. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Uncle Ricky. Our next question is for Uncle Pande. Your topic is communication challenges or patterns, in person versus texting, spending lots of times in their rooms and on their gadgets versus spending time with the family. What do you have to say about that.
Okay, so communication challenges, I think you have to break it down in several categories, right? I mean, we have kids who are still in middle school, high school, and college. So this might apply to the kids who are maybe in high school and below, right? So our kids today are facing a lot of challenges that we didn't face in the past, as far as communication is concerned. And I want to say one of them has to do with ever since the smartphone came around. What are we talking about? 2004 is when the smartphone came around, right? And now, to make things worse, we have AI on smartphones, right? So in our homes, parents, we are competing with these smartphones and the computers and the iPads for family time. So, one of the things I was going to look at is, in-person texting, right? So kids spending too much time texting instead of interacting in person can lead to issues, can lead to various issues to do with lack of social skills, prevents kids from, learning to read emotions and to respond empathetically to other people, since they are texting online. Unfortunately, sometimes even within the homes we've started texting, which is totally wrong. So we're not communicating anymore, we are texting. So this also can lead to mental health issues with the kids. Excessive screen time has been linked to mental health problems such as depression, anxiety, and social behavior. Also, physical health problems. Spending too much time on screens can contribute to physical health issues like obesity, eye strain, and poor posture, that type of thing. Then again, I want to address spending lots of times in rooms or gadgets versus family time. This leads to weakened family bonds. You spend less time together, which weakens family relationships, and it reduces the sense of connection. And once you reduce the sense of connection, you think, hey, my parents don't care about me or anything like that. When you're spending the majority of time in your room, and it's a challenge for us parents. All the time we're saying, can you come out of your room? Can you come and spend some time with us? Now, I must admit, us parents have a challenge with this too. We also need to put our gadgets down whenever we're with our kids, and look at them and have conversations with them. Sometimes our kids will complain and say, hey, you've been on your phone the whole time, I can't talk to you, this is why I'm walking away and going to the bedroom. So again, another issue that can come up because of spending too much time in your rooms, on the gadgets, is overuse of these gadgets can distract from homework and studying, potentially affecting academic performance. So as parents, we need to encourage a balance between screen time, family activities, to help mitigate these issues. Right. And I wanted to cross over to say, I hope you kids also understand that we have come from a different culture. We've come from the African culture. And I think I want to say, in the African culture, we believe in having our kids excel more than we have excelled ourselves. So, in America, we have to try to balance two cultures. So we have work to do, and you have work to do. We have to try to balance two cultures. In America, the people I work with, the Americans over here will say, once you are 18 years old, leave, get out of my house. You're on your own. Our approach as Africans, with that African culture, is different. I want you to stay in my house as long as you are going to go to school, as long as you are going to do something. I want you to take advantage of, not paying rent, not having to pay car insurance or anything like that. So that, we tend to tell you to say, you need to study hard, you need to do all this, and sometimes it gets misunderstood. But it's all with the right intentions of wanting our kids to do better than us.
And just to add on what he said, I'd like to give kudos to the parents who have given their children space, and the children have proved us parents wrong. I'll give an example of my nephew, who is a YouTuber. my brother-in-law's son here, he was given the space and is successful in what he's doing. But it took a lot of patience on the side of, my sister and, the dad, because even for myself, I can't even imagine whether I can settle down to say my son knows what they are doing. It's a very difficult situation because, again, we come from a culture where we want the best for you, our children. We want to provide for you and see that you have a career before we can let you go and we let you be independent. Yes, other children have been successful, in figuring out what they would like to do. But some of them have reached 40 and they don't have a career. So we are concerned because we are not getting any younger. We are aging. We know what we are working for right now. We want to provide for you and also prepare something for us to go back home to. We don't want to go back to Zambia empty-handed because, we had to leave you something because it took you forever to figure out something. I don't know whether our young people can answer that question. How can you make us feel at peace as parents in order for us to leave you alone and trust that you know what you are doing?
Yeah, would
Did you hear my question?
any
The question again is that we put pressure on you because we are very worried. We are not getting any younger. We are preparing for our retirement. We want you guys to be independent so that we can probably go back home, and you'll be here independent and able to take care of yourselves. We have seen a few young people in our community who have done well, taking time figuring things out, and they've been successful, not even going to college. We are putting pressure because we are concerned. How can you reassure us that you know what you are doing? How can you talk to us to let us not force you into careers that you don't want to do while you guys got it together and know what you're doing? Anybody? Any takers?
I think it really comes a Bible story, because I know we all love the Bible, that really demonstrates this, is when Jesus was in the boat in the middle of the storm, is that he had trust in his Father, and the disciples lacked the trust that even if he is in this boat, since he's in this boat, nothing bad is going to happen. I think for parents, one of the most important things, which comes back to like the idea of comparison, is one, don't compare us to failures. We want to exceed in America just as much as you want us to exceed. I think that's like genuinely, we see how hard, and I can say this for my parents, I've seen how hard they've worked to provide a safe and healthy environment for me to grow and to try. Am I good? Okay. To grow and to to be successful in whatever I choose that my success will be in. And so I think it's a trust again in the way you raised us as parents to know that we will be okay. But then the second thing is, if my route of success does not look like doctor, nurse, lawyer, and I want to take the route. Like for me, my dad really wanted me to be a doctor. I was like, dude, I don't even like blood. How am I supposed to be a doctor? And so then I said, I want to be a cybersecurity. I want to study cybersecurity and forensics. And then as I went down that path, and I've done that, and then now it's like, Dad, I actually think I can be like a pastor. I want to do that. And then so for Dad, it's like, you're switching ideas a lot. And I'm like, no, I'm not switching ideas. I trust in the Lord that he who guides my steps will be faithful to bring me to completion. And so it should be not looking at other people and measuring their level of success and saying, oh, if I go to Zambia now, my child will not be okay. No, You trust God, I trust God. And this actually, sorry, to one thing that I really appreciate my parents and the way they raised me is to have a faith in God despite any circumstance, is to have like, that's what I'm thankful for my parents to bring to me. And so having that faith in God will also help me with my career, because the thing, it shouldn't be what's your occupation or this or that going to be. It's if you're rooted in Christ and you have a faith in Christ, then I know that even if you might not see it today, my God, who's faithful to start a good work, will be faithful to complete it.
Yes, I just want you to understand I'm putting on pressure on time. This is when I don't like my job. This is a beautiful conversation, but it must end. Period. So, but he has to talk. So while I'll give this opportunity, but those that are commenting, but blessings, he who chases 2 rabbits catches none. Okay, focus on one thing. Don't just speak English. You are too eloquent, young man. It's your time. I'll talk to you later. Love you, kid.
Okay, so we do have a little less than 5 minutes. Our last question is for Uncle Humphrey. Your topic is just to share your experience with culture shock and how it has impacted you when you moved here to the United States.
Wow, culture shock. Yeah. Yes. I was shocked. You know, my wife and my 2 kids came before me. They were about 5, 6 years. The kids were 5, 6 years. I got my papers after 6 years. I remained behind. When I was coming here, they were 11, 12, 13 there. Me, I was coming as a Zambian father. Completely in charge and knows everything. When I speak, you just keep quiet. And I entered my house. Man. The first shock, we are seated in the living room. My son goes, hey, you guys, guys. I didn't waste any time. I don't waste time. I barracked him. I told him off. African father. The boy got scared. But I didn't care because I knew, I thought I was right. You know, as African fathers. My wife, as male as she is, she didn't take sides. At that time, she didn't take sides. I think she was also waiting to see. I said, yeah. The head of the house has come. Sabbath, we went to church. The following Sabbath, we went to church. We are seated listening to the sermon with my family. The pastor is preaching. I just hear him say, you guys. Then I looked at my wife. The pastor is saying, you guys. By the time I left the church, I don't know how many you guys I had. Then it dawned upon me that my son did not mean it to disrespect me. It is the norm. We went back home, and I don't waste time if I'm wrong. I said sorry. I apologized to my son. I said I was very sorry. And I realized that I had to learn a lot of things. And now, conversations. In the home, there's conversations. And me, I don't lose conversations anyhow. Huh? My daughter, I don't know whether I should say unfortunately or fortunately. My daughter is a good debater. That Katani small girl, that's why now she's in law school. We would start discussing something. I expect it to finish, but she'll just be going on and on. And she'll be bringing points to a point where I feel defeated inside. But what did you do? Just say, shut up, I'm your father. I used to do that. Shut up, I'm your father. I used to do that. That didn't settle well with my wife as well. Eventually, I learned also that Here, there's nothing like shut up. You have to talk. You have to talk. You have to discuss. If you have lost, just say you have lost. I learned to do that. The other thing I noticed, when I was back home, when my kids are greeting me, they would at least do this. It was not there. I came back, my son was just starting, hey, dad, just starting. You have no respect. That kneeling went. Unfortunately, even my wife who used to kneel before me. she no longer knelt. I can see. I'm about to finish. 2 minutes. I realized, I said, here, the headship or the kingship is not very protected here. You have to compromise. It became things like gay people, what have you. When I came here, my position was like Museveni's position. We know what is Museveni's position. Very bad. I used to say, no. Like they are not people. But my own kids, they went to school. They mingled. They even had gay friends. It had to take them in my house to teach me that I need to be like Jesus. Today, I don't segregate. Even a gay person is just a human being loved by God. One of them even used to come to our house to visit the friends. Before that, you don't enter my house, because when we came from home, it was something else. Then finally, I must say, when I started seeing, when I just came, differences with my children were growing. So I decided to say, no, let me learn and accommodate. I learned very quickly. Very quickly I learned, and I think I even surpassed the Americans. I told my wife, I said, my friend, he is different. Let's not be the way our parents were. We are going to destroy these guys. And let us make sure whatever they do, we engage them. A lot of Adventists fail in certain things like alcohol. If somebody passes smelling a little bit of wine, mama, like he has already gone to hell. We discussed with my wife and we agreed, let's give these guys space. Comparing is very, very bad. Okay? Our girl child is top performer at school. Our son is a CD grade at school. And he may be expected because of the way I was going to be barracking him every day. I didn't. I told him what I heard. Somebody said the A graders actually work for C and D graders. If you're an A grader, the best you can do is go to university and make a bit of money. But real businessmen, you find that they fell off school. You can actually employ A graders. And we pushed our son that way to say, do whatever is good for you. Today, today is taking care of himself. He's YouTubing and making enough money for himself. The one in top in school, she's in law school. So we learned quickly to let them space. They love space, these guys. Give them space, but remind them that they have to do chores. Give them space, but remind them that they have to do chores in the house. Thank you very much.
All right. Wasn't that great? I wish we had more time, like the whole day. But thank you. I'm glad to hear that this was the highlight, Uncle Ricky. This was the highlight of the weekend, and I'm sure the youth feel the same as well. I'm being pushed here that we are out of time, but Auntie Silosi has a hand up. Should we just give her
1 minute.
no?
It's no. It doesn't matter. We have a program. Okay, listen. Listen. We were supposed to be done at 3:45. Okay, 20 minutes over. So go to your room. Be